Very good morning, good afternoon or good evening wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another edition of Something for the Weekend from yours truly, Martin Lynch at ML&S in Staines, near Heathrow, for those of you that are flying into the UK that think they might want to pop in and see the best and brightest, and air conditioned, by the way, air conditioning everywhere in the store. So even if you just want to browse and have a tea or a coffee, pop in and say hello. We've got more than enough space to accommodate you. I've been given the task today, mainly because Tony's got yet another day off. It's remarkable, really, but it is that time of year. Used. We've been pushing for lots of used for a while now, and I'm very pleased to say you've all responded extremely well. And there's so much used, I don't really know where to start, but I guess this end of the bench will do. Elad FDM DUOs, Franco in Italy. He's been manufacturing these for a good, must be 5-6 years now, I think. First saw it at Friedrichshafen, and we have two used examples, one at 699, one at 799. Why is there a £100 difference? Maybe there's a little mark there, although I don't think it is. I think it's actually dust. This one's 799. This has got the box, book and packing, as you can see. So there's a choice. They're just under £1,000 new, and I think we did a feature on one of these a few weeks ago, I seem to remember. I think it was Tony or Gary that did a feature. But if you want to get into SDR, 5 watts QRP, and have all the display on a large screen, that's the one to go for. Next to it, little TM-441E, little 70 SEMS 25 watt mobile by Kenwood. They stopped making that a while ago now, but if you just want to use 70 SEMS FM, that's the beastie to go for. Similarly, the Yaesu FT-2980 is 50-60 watts output on 2 meters FM at 125 quid. Real basic piece of kit, but a lovely big clear display. Talking of clear displays, Ken would continue with the TS-590S. This is in excellent condition. Hasn't got a box, but it has got the lead, microphone and handbook. £725. The replacement, the 590SG, is going to cost you nearly double that. In fact, it will cost you double that. So if you want HF and 6 meters, definitely look at the Kenwood 590. SP-20 matching speaker for a whole series of Icom products at £118. It's boxed. Yes, it is in good condition, as you can see. That's in excellent condition. Those feet look rather jumbo, don't they, for the size of product, but that's that. And sitting next to it is the Icom IC-910HX. That's fitted with the 23 SEMS module, and that's why it's the X designation. High power, so you've got 100 watts on 2, 75 watts on 70, and 10 watts on 23 SEMS. And that really is in good condition. It's got the HM219 mic and the DC lead, so 13.8 volt power supply. I'm not going to go through every single one of these because I literally will be here till the end of the day. But one I used to sell when I was at Amateur Radio Exchange back in the early 80s, the TS-430 by Kenwood. These are old now. They're a good, 20, 40 years old. A few marks on there, but a lovely little piece of kit. Yes, it's got the FM board fitted, because the FM board was an option on the 430. So also got, I do believe, the CW filter. I think John told me earlier. $399. That's a hell of a lot of a nice base station for £399. We've got handhelds that cost more than that. And just below it, the Yaesu FT-920 HF and 6 meters. I think I mentioned before when I was wandering around the one of the Yaesu factories in Japan, the design and development area, actually in Tokyo. One of these was on its side, and they were working on it, and when they saw me looking at it, they scooted me away because I hadn't actually officially released it. I knew I hadn't seen the shape before, and it seems weird umpteen years later that they're still on my shelf at 599 quid. Again, nice big base station. If you don't like lots of knobs and a small front panel, which you might not, and you've got the space. Look at the 920, it's a nice piece of kit. Next to it, the 950, which really was its replacement. I was selling those in my shop in Northfields years ago. Again, HF and 6 meters, really an updated version of this, FM as standard, etc. Top band through to 6 meters, 850. And moving over to the another Yaesu piece of kit that's no longer made, but again, nice, easy use with a larger display. They've gone away from the letterbox design. 1100 quid for one of those. Again, IC-746 from Icom. That was a nice beastie. Sold hundreds and hundreds of those. Not only is it HF to 6, they also gave you nearly 100 watts out on 2 meters as well. And for some bizarre reason, on the next model, they didn't. We couldn't figure it out either. But anyway, there it is, 746, 599. So if you want a good 2 meter performer, as well as a bit of HF on the side, have a look at that. We really have got so much used equipment to choose from. It really is endless. And in fact, just behind Henry here, we've got a PW-1 Euro. That's the 1 kilowatt HF linear from Icom. This really is in excellent condition. What I like about this is you can put this underneath the bench and just have that on your tabletop in your shack, so you don't need to even see this. This actually does bolt in there if you wish. HF to 6 meters. It's got 4 antenna ports, all selectable from here, and if you use it with an Icom piece of kit, it'll actually follow it. So when you change bands, that'll do the same. And we just bought this in actually whilst I was standing here. FT-1000 Mark V. I remember the queue that was a mile long at the HF convention. It used to be called the HF convention in the early 90s, that we still sponsor 30 odd years later. That's a 200 watt version with the external power supply, and it'll also run 75 watts in Class A. Really nice nick, that, 799, but it is collect only because we haven't got the box. But microphone and power lead. Over here we've got a TS-990. The biggest difference is that's a £2,000 saving. It's in excellent condition. It's still Kenwood's flagship 200 watts HF to 6, etc. And if you are looking at the best that Kenwood make, that's probably worth considering. Like the TS-890, I don't think we've got any TS-890s used. They were just really, no, can't see any at all. I can't remember the last time we had this much used in the shop, to be honest, which is great. Over here, little ones, FT-891 at 599. The condition of that. HF to 6, nice and compact. You really want 100 watts in your hand. Look at the size of that, fantastic. Similarly, a very, very clean FT-847 that Yaesu produced. I haven't really ever replaced it, to be honest. £699, HF, 6 meters, all the rest of it, 270 of course. And you can modify them to work on 4 meters. In fact, they do work on 4, but they're quite inefficient. About 15 watts out on 4 meters. I did notice this earlier. We've only had this a few days. For anybody that's been thinking about an Expert MB1, which is a full PC, inbuilt PC, Windows controlled HF transceiver, these are an absolute fortune new. If you want to know about that, I've been thinking about one, that's several £1,000 under list. It is totally as new with its box, etc. If you want to know all the information, give Gary a call, who you know very well, Gary Spears. I think that's it really. We're still looking for used equipment because there's lots of gaps on the shelves where I can actually stack more. We've got several linears as well, I noticed. For example, the RM HLA300 V Plus. It's the same as the 300 but with 3 fans on the top. Nearly 300 watts output, HF 10 to 160. And you do need a blooming healthy power supply to power that, as you can imagine. And yes, we do stock 120 amp power supplies. Accessories, used tuners, MFJ 969 at £249, roller coaster design. And we have got a rather splendid BT-1500A over here by Palstar, at 749. I have to say, I look at the prices and think, goodness, that's everything's gone up a little bit, and yes it has. The cost of manufacturing and parts has soared over the last few years, and don't we know why. IC-705s, delivery dates on these are October, would you believe. The IC-705 needs no introduction whatsoever. I very clearly remember sitting in my garden at home with one of these, and in fact I do believe, Henry, you were videoing it, and we had the very first one in the country. Well, guess what, we've got a used one at £11.99. that's £200 off list price. It is absolutely pristine, boxed, etc. I have at least a year's warranty on it. That won't be 3 months of this, it'll be at least 12 months. So if you want one of those now and you don't want to wait till October delivery date, then check that out at £11.99. Electronic keys, I used to sell these with at Amateur Radio Exchange, 89 quid. Put a paddle into the back of this, and you can vary the weight and the speed, of course. And that's a lovely self-contained little box. Shame, I think Daiwa is still going. Yes, they are definitely still going, because they make meters, of course, and power, the old power supply. That's a lovely little piece kit, nice and simple. If you've got any used equipment to sell, then please give us a ring, give Tony or any of the lads in the sales office a call. They'll obviously help you. Against new or used, we'll always take trade-ins or purchase outright. We'll also collect from anywhere in the UK as well, generally providing you have the original box, only from an insurance point of view. If it gets collected and it gets damaged and it's not in the original box, then we've got a problem. That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed the walk around. There is a lot on. Just look at hamradio.co.uk/used, and all the used equipment will come up. We've also introduced a complete new website at vast expense over the past few weeks, and I'll take this opportunity of apologising for the slowness and rather random search field that hasn't been working up to our normal standard. It's still work in progress, and if you've got any comments, just drop sales@hamradio.co.uk if you find a glaring omission or an error we've made. But it was a major job to go from our old backhand system to our new one. But a lot of money's been invested in it, and I know it'll get better and better. If not, I'll get a gun out. Just before I go, you know there's always something else. FTM 6000s, the 2 metre transceiver from Yaesu, we have actually cut the price of that down. The TS-990 that I showed you over there at 3.5, we've actually got 2 brand new ones in stock. And similarly, the IC-7100, the Icom transceiver with remote head, they're also back in stock. Icom 7000Ss, the 700 watt linear from Acom, surprise surprise, down to £25.99. that's 50 quid off list. And this is a used 700S, in fact, at £21.99. I've just noticed a sticker on the side there. I thought it was new, because this is how they get shipped. So the guy obviously bought it and didn't want it, and we bought it back off him. So if you want to save yourself 400 quid, that really one is in immaculate condition. Midel 705 cage, they're finally back in stock after being out of stock for ages. The MFJ 1788X, the loops, they're back in stock. Also the AA-1500 Zoom handheld meter, they're another £10 off from free shipping at $729. Finally, on extra kit, Icom have announced an AH-730. It's a small remote tuner for up to 15 watts output, $569.95. Details are on the website, and I do believe they'll be in stock very shortly. So that's the AH-730. That's it for now. No more. See you soon. Bye-bye. I shouldn't really say this, but Tony's away today. If you ring up, because this is still marked up at £175 on the website, KW-207 Supermatch, 80 to 10 metres, end-fed wires, coaxial fed, dummy load built in, balanced, unbalanced. That's up at 175. If you ring up today and said, Lynch, you said you could have it for 99 quid, plus shipping of course, you can do it. So that's the KW-207, that's a nice tuner for £99. But don't tell Tony.